All right, so I have to do this. On my old shit, well, when this, how do I put this? The content that used to be on this channel was a little different. I had some videos up about Star Wars, so any of my older subscribers probably know my feelings on Kathleen Kennedy's Star Wars universe and how much I hate it, how much I loathe it. And so I'm really doing this video. I'm really doing this random rant because I just finished watching The Mandalorian Season 2. I watched Mandalorian Season 1 for free this summer. And I just finished watching Mandalorian Season 2 for free this winter. And what can I say? I fucking loved it. Mandalorian is not... I think there's little issues with The Mandalorian, but they're little issues. They're small and they're minuscule. So I don't mention them. I don't focus on them too much. I wasn't really paying attention to the show because of what Kathleen Kennedy, J.J. Abrams, and Rian Johnson did. And Lawrence Kasdan, I mean, he has to take some of the blame. And Lawrence Kasdan did for what they did to these movies. So when The Mandalorian came out, people were heaping praise upon it. I wanted to see it, but my hopes weren't very high, so I wasn't really paying too much attention to it. So if there are little mistakes in the show that were made, I don't pay too much attention to them because I wasn't paying too much attention to the show. With that being said, I loved the first season. It felt like Star Wars. It felt like you were back in the Star Wars universe, the real Star Wars universe, the one that we're used to from the original trilogy. I love the characters. They had this little, the little puppet, the little Yoda puppet. They were able to pull that off. They did a good job with that. It would normally, or it could have been, it was risky because it could have been comical and stupid, but it wasn't. Everybody loved that little puppet. You grow to really like the little character. The little puppet has its own little personality, and that's the thing. The puppet doesn't even speak. I mean, most people can make a character or make something stupid appear cool or make it interesting or make people love it because you give that character a personality by letting them speak and letting them talk. It's rare where you have a character that really doesn't speak at all, and it still exudes all of this personality, and this little puppet did it, and the writers did a good job with that. The supporting characters I liked. You have actors in there who are not great actors. I love Carl Weathers, but he's never been a great actor. Gina Carano, who I always think of as one of the most gorgeous women alive, and now she's nice and thick. She can't act for shit, but she did a great job. It was smart picking her because she was able to do that physical stuff, and it made it look real. It made it look unique, and she was able to pull off her lines perfectly. So she did a fine job. So the actors were good. The music was just fucking great. Not only was it Star Wars music, but I've never, ever, and I'm in my 30s, and I've watched movies and television shows. I've watched many of them. I know most things about movies and TV, and I've been watching this stuff since the 80s. And I have never, ever, 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 ever sat through credits for anything. I sit through the credits for every single episode of this show, from season 1 and season 2. That end theme, the scrolling credits theme that's one of the best scores I've ever heard for a television show in my life, if not the best. It's the best for any television show, not movie, but for any television show, that is the best. That coupled with the beautiful artwork that you get at the end. I've never just sat down and just watched the credits ever before until this show. And I little things like that add to what make you love the show. The cinematography, I don't really comment on cinematography anymore. It's 2020. With the technology we have now, nobody really fucks up the cinematography and the effects anymore. You don't really fuck it up. So that was fine. But I will say for a television show, no, I won't say that. Because I was going to say for a television show, it's really good. But it's Disney. These guys got ass loads of money. So, you know, you got the money to use it. Most television shows, they don't have that kind of budget, so they can't do it. But if you got the budget, then with the technology we have, you could do it. So they do a great job. I love the locations. I get a little tired of going to the same planets. Let's go to some new planets. Let's do something new. We've seen Tatooine and these desert type planets a lot. So let's do something new. Let's switch it up. And the little shanty areas, let's switch it up. Let's do something new. But I love the practical effects. I love the sets. I love the costumes. I love the action, the choreography. I love the creatures, all the different aliens. And when I mean creatures, I mean like the monsters and stuff. The aliens, of course, I love those. They've done a great job with the aliens, but they do a great job with the aliens for all the Star Wars things, even the shitty prequels and the irredeemably fucking piece of garbage sequel trilogy that Kathleen Kennedy presided over. So, all in all, I loved the show. I was entertained by it. I was looking forward to season 2. I had to wait for all the episodes to come out before I could watch it for free. Unfortunately, that's one of the downsides to being able to watch things for free. So I was really looking forward to it. The seasons, the show doesn't make me. I mean, I don't have a problem. I would easily be able to sit there and watch the whole season straight through. But I don't have a desire to, and I do want to point that out. For shows like Netflix's Daredevil, for The Witcher, for great shows like Firefly, I want to watch the whole thing straight through. I just want to do that. This I did not want to, but I didn't have a need to. I was like, I don't need to. I'll watch some of the other ones, tomorrow. So the show isn't that great to me, but it is great. But the reason that I'm making this video, because obviously I didn't do a random rant for the first season. The reason I'm doing it now is because I was just so happy. I just saw the end of of season 2. That's why I'm making this. So the very end, and I almost orgasmed. I almost cemented my whole couch when I saw the end. So Kathleen Kennedy's, I'm going to take a shit on the original story, the original characters. I'm going to take a shit on men. That's bothered most of us fans. Even I think some of the female fans, it's bothered. Then this show, and let me say this, for this show, what I'm about to mention, I didn't have a problem with it, but I was sitting back like, oh no, are they going to do that too for the season 2? So for season 2, you got the 2 Mandalorian women. You got Ahsoka, which I love seeing a grown-up Ahsoka. And who would have thought Rosario Dawson would have been such a great pick? But she is a great pick. I wonder when they did the Clone Wars television series and they created Ahsoka, if they had Rosario Dawson in mind. Because the lips, this facial structure, it's like it was made for Rosario Dawson to play an adult version of her. She did a great fucking job as a powerful Jedi. Is Ahsoka just, I guess she would be just a Jedi Knight, right? She should be a Jedi Master. Hold on now. I mean, I don't know too much about Ahsoka, but she should be, I'm assuming she's a Jedi Master. I mean, she worked alongside Luke's dad when Luke's dad was a young man. So she should be in her 60s now or something? Huh. Ah, shit, I just fucked the show up for myself. Timeline's a little fucked. But I'm assuming she's a Jedi Master. Either way, Jedi Knight, Jedi Master, she did an unbelievable job. I love the white lightsabers. I loved it. I really had fun. There were episodes that I was just sitting back yay! And I love that. But you had the 2 Mandalorian women. Sorry, getting off topic. You had the 2 Mandalorian women. Then you had Ahsoka, so the 3rd woman. Then you had Gina Carano's character. That's a fourth woman. Then you had Chun-Li from Joy Luck Club. That's a fifth woman. I was like, oh boy, they're doing the all-woman power thing. Oh no, what's about to happen? And then at the end, the last episode, it was like the Mandalorian and then this like squad of just women, just woman empowerment. And I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't mind it. It wasn't done in a way to exclude men. It wasn't demeaning to men. None of that. It felt organic and it felt great. But I was just sitting there like cringing, like, oh no, are they gonna try to fuck over, try to do what these movies and television shows are doing now and make the men look like weak, pathetic shit and make the women look like, woman empowerment. I was like, please don't do that shit. So I was just sitting there cringing. But they didn't do that. Not only did they not do that, but the women had basically fucked up, and they basically had lost. Mando lost too, because they were now in a position where what's his name? That homosexual guy from so I don't remember, Giancarlo Esposito. I don't know if he's homosexual or not. I just assume he is because he gets so many fucking jobs in Hollywood that normally that means you're sucking on something. So Giancarlo Esposito, I think he had somehow he had stalled them, I guess, so that the Dark Knight stormtrooper things, the stormtroopers that I guess were made out of adamantium or something, they got back on the ship and, they were coming through the door. So basically they had lost. I'm like, these women all lost. And then a man had to come save them. Not only was it a fucking man, it was the man. When I saw that fucking green lightsaber and I saw that glove, that it was. I thank you to the writers and the developers, the producers of The Mandalorian, because it was like they were saying, Kathleen Kennedy, fuck you. You're not going to get rid of the hero from this story. You're not going to get rid of Luke Skywalker. You're not doing it. Luke Skywalker is the hero of the story. He always has been and he always will be. So fuck your movies and fuck your woman empowerment message that you're trying to push. It's not woman empowerment. It's equal. You have these powerful women and you have these powerful men. And you have this powerful man who you're not just going to neuter and then kill off. He's still here. And just seeing Luke Skywalker come in, just save the day. I mean, seeing his face was a little jarring because it looked a little weird. But, what do you expect? It's still a television show. Just having him there, coming in as a Jedi Master and seeing this Jedi Master at work, which is something that we've never really been able to see. Because technically, in my mind, Luke was still a Jedi Knight in Return of the Jedi. To me, he was still a Jedi Knight because he couldn't have ascended to Jedi Master because there still wasn't that much time. Most of the time, he was a Jedi Knight when he went to face. He was barely a Jedi Knight when he went to face Vader. He was kind of like still a fucking Padawan when he went to face Vader. And then after Vader, he was injured, so he was really healing and in recovery for most of the space of time between Empire and Return. So by Return of the Jedi, he's still just like a really powerful Jedi Knight. He didn't have an opportunity to get to Jedi Master level yet. And then the sequel comes out and they treat Luke like he's a piece of shit and then they kill him. So you never really get to see Luke Skywalker as a Jedi Master. But thanks to The Mandalorian, you finally get to see this master just come on board, kick ass, whip out a notepad and take down some names. And then not only that, but then R2-D2 comes out. And it's like, shit, yeah. It's like, fuck you, BB-8. We're the originals. We are the originals. You don't have to shit on us, try to erase us from the story, kill us off, and reintroduce these new themes and new characters by just after disrespecting us. You're not going to be able to do that. We stand the test of time, and we're still here, and we still have a very powerful fan base who want to see us and want to interact with us. And so that was the main reason I'm making this. This is going to be a short random rant. I just wanted to say I love the show. And if you haven't seen it and I ruined it for you, sorry, spoilers. But just, I love the show. I love the action. I love seeing Bill Burr in his role. He did a great job in his role. But just seeing Luke Skywalker come out and be Luke Skywalker again. As a Star Wars, as a fan of this story who's been watching it since the 80s. I've been involved with these characters since the 80s. Since the 80s. That's a long fucking time. I've been involved with these characters, watching television shows about them. I mean, watching their movies, playing video games, reading books. I've read so many books about Han Solo and Leia's kids, Jason, Jaina, and Anakin. Watching Luke Skywalker get involved with what's her name, Jade, and their child. It was just interacting with all these characters, and then have Kathleen Kennedy's dumb, dirty cunt ass come in and just wipe it all away. Kill off Han Solo, turn Leia into a fucking waste of a character because you didn't do the story properly, and now you can't do it properly because Carrie Fisher is dead. So that's a waste. Luke Skywalker, you turned him into a murdering failure bitch loser, and then you kill him, and then you kill him. I know I talked about this before, but I'm sorry, I'm in that mode. Then you kill Luke Skywalker off in such a shit bitch way. Luke Skywalker dies doing nothing. He strained himself to death doing nothing. He killed himself doing nothing. He accomplished nothing. Then you wipe away the accomplishments of all of these heroes by just basically saying, oh, the Emperor's not dead. He's still alive. Palpatine's still here, so you failed. Palpatine didn't die. He's in hiding, and he's got he's reinvented himself. He brought the Empire back, and he's still alive. So basically, Luke, Leia, and Han, and all those characters, what they did was all a waste. It was all a fucking joke because they didn't ultimately kill Palpatine. They just killed one of his lieutenants, Darth Vader, and made Palpatine have to wait a little bit longer. So seeing this show and seeing Luke Skywalker back in all of his Jedi Master brilliance and bringing R2-D2 back when you tried to replace him with that stupid, nonsensical little robot ball thing in the movie, it was like saying thank you to the fans. We appreciate you, and this is for you. And I really appreciated that, and I'm glad that the show was made. Seeing Boba Fett, and it was done right. I mean, obviously, they changed Boba Fett from the original Boba Fett but that was Lucas. Lucas changed him. There's nothing you could do about that now. But seeing Boba Fett come back and be Boba Fett, because you don't really get to see Boba Fett be Boba Fett on the screen, but now you do. You read all these books. People have been reading Star Wars novels for decades at this point and reading about these characters, and you finally get a chance to see them on the big screen, and they fuck it up. But at least you get to see them on the small screen. And seeing Boba Fett actually be Boba Fett, talk about his dad Jango, it was made for fans. Unlike the sequel trilogy that was just garbage and not made for us, it was made for, I guess, a younger generation of women and effeminate boys. This was made for us fans, the people that built Star Wars up with our time and our money. We spent our time interacting with these things. We paid our money and helped turn it into this great big empire, which it is. And so we appreciate you saying thank you, and we're going to write a story that's based on the thing that you built, that you helped build, that you helped prop up. So I really appreciated that. I love seeing that. At the end, they said there's like what was it called? The Book of Boba Fett or something like that. Is that a movie, or is that going to be a television series? And if anyone knows, and no one's going to see this video, but if anyone does see this video and they know, put it in the comments. I'm curious. I guess I could just go online and research it myself. But I'm curious to see what that is. Whatever it is, I'll come back. Even if season 3 is shit, at least season 1 and 2 were great. And people eventually they fall off, and what are you going to do? But thank you to the people that gave us The Mandalorian. I really appreciate it. I loved seeing Luke Skywalker come back. Fuck you, Kathleen Kennedy.